Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode number 51 of the Karen Knits podcast. My name is Karen, and I'm coming to you from South Central Pennsylvania, where I live, where I work, where I knit and crochet and get into all kinds of other crafty shenanigans. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. It is Saturday, February the 6th, 2021, and it's getting cloudy out. We had a nice, bright, sunny morning, and now sounds like there's another snowstorm on our way. We had over a foot of snow last weekend. It started Saturday night. Yeah, I guess late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, and continued on till about Tuesday. So we got quite a bit of snow for our neck of the woods. And most of it there's still a lot of it around. They've cleaned up a lot. The streets are clean, the sidewalks are clean, the intersection between the streets and sidewalks are now clean. And now the forecast is saying there's another weather warning for overnight from, I think, 3 in the morning, Sunday morning through till Sunday after, early to mid Sunday afternoon. And they're saying about 2 to 4 inches of snow. So that's, for a Canadian, that's not bad. But for around here, a lot of people think that's a lot of snow. Whatever. So we shall see what comes of the weather. Just see what I did there? Ouch. So we shall see what happens overnight, whether we have more snow coming, whether it misses us, whether it's sleet. Who knows? We shall see. I'm sipping a cup of tea again. And today, oops, that's got a lot of glare on it. It's by Bigelow, and it's called Cinnamon Stick. So it's black tea with cinnamon flavor. It's really nice. It's not a strong, overpowering cinnamon flavor. It's quite mild. So it's quite a nice cup of tea. If you're a new viewer, thank you so much for checking me out. I hope you enjoy it here and stick around. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back again to see what I've managed to get accomplished in the past week. I'm happy to have you back again. So today, we've been puttering around a bit this morning. We went out and checked out a few shops downtown today. About these earrings. They had a bunch of them on for $1 a pair of earrings. So I thought, I can't lose. So I bought 3 pair. I restrained myself a little bit. And I picked up 3 pair. So this is the 1 pair I got. But I thought for $1 a pair, I thought maybe they might bother my ears, because especially this earlobe tends to be sensitive to different kinds of metals and cheap metals. I froze this ear back when I was in my late teens. It was probably about 16 or 17. I was out horseback riding in the winter. I had a hat on, I had a scarf on. I was all bundled up. I was wearing a pair of earrings at the time, and somehow I managed to get a bit of frostbite, and I froze just around the post of the earring on my right ear, way back when. Then for years I had trouble wearing earrings on this side, and I finally started wearing them in the last 5 or 10 years. I've started back to wearing earrings again, and it seems to have improved. But every once in a while, if I wear really inexpensive earrings and certain kind of metals don't agree with this ear. So I kind of thought that, maybe I'll go $1 a pair. I thought they would irritate my ear. They don't. So I'm really happy with that. So I might have to go back again and get more. So I'll try the other 2 pair first and make sure that all 3 of them are okay, and all 3 of them make my ears happy. And then I think I will go back and I'll get a few more pair. Some of them are really cute. The other pair I bought are little pink hearts. and they're just the studs. They're not little danglies at all. And the third pair are little square rectangular type of shape with a light purple stone in it, so an amethyst looking stone in each one of them. So it's kind of like a light mediumish purple color. And amethyst is my birthstone, so I picked up those ones as well. But if all three of them are okay on my ears, I think I'm going to go back, because $1 a pair, can't beat it. You can't beat it. If they self-destruct and fall apart on me after I've worn them once, I don't care. It's $1 a pair. So anyway, you came here to talk about knitting, right? I thought so. Anyway, so this past week, I've got a goodly amount of progress done on several projects. I finished one and started two. What are we gonna do with me? Anyway, so I finished one project, started 2 new ones, so I've got five projects to show you today. And I got a goodly bit done on each of them, not as much as I would have liked to, because even though a lot of things were closed down on Monday and a lot of Tuesday too with the snow, and some of it Sunday, I didn't get as much extra knitting done as I would have liked to have got done. I still had a lot of things going on. I actually had a lot of extra things going on at work this week. I'm on a search committee for a faculty position at one of our neighboring campuses within the group, within the university system I work with. And we had initial rounds of interviews with six candidates this week. So that ate up a goodly chunk of time. And then the search committee met. All this was done on Zoom. The search committee met after we talked to the 6th person to make some decisions on who we wanted to do follow-up interviews with and more detailed interviews, and who we wanted to have as our finalists, so that they would do a teaching demonstration, research demonstration, or a research presentation, things like that. So I was tied up with all kinds of meetings and prep for these things, all that stuff. So I was busy with a lot of that this week and didn't get as much crafting done as I would have liked to. But overall, I actually still did get a goodly bit of work done on my crafting this week. So I've been yakking about this for quite a while without having without showing you anything crafting. So my first project is my granny stripe. It's done. It is finished. I didn't have much more to go. I just went from the yellow marker up to here, so it wasn't a lot. I had mentioned, I think last week, that I hope to have it done by the end of last weekend, and I did. I did a little bit on Saturday night, and I finished it on Sunday night. So, Granny Stripes is done, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Let's see if we can see it in all of its gloriousness. This might be easier said than done. So it's all made with fingering weight and sock yarn scraps. So this is a pattern by Lucy from Attic 24, and it's a granny stripe blanket. Oh my gosh, look at this. I can't get it all into, it doesn't all fit into the frame at the same time. So, but I love it. Absolutely love it. I've already been snuggling under it a little bit while watching TV the last few nights, and I'm just so happy to have it finished. It's about 6 feet long, and no, that's half the width. It's folded in half, so it's probably about 3 to 3 to 4 feet wide and about 6 feet long. So it's a nice length and a nice size to snuggle under. And like I say, I've sampled it a couple nights already this past week, and I love it. It's got all kinds of colors in it. I don't remember a lot of the colors and a lot of the yarns, I don't remember what on earth they are. Some of them are my own hand dyed. I don't know. I could maybe go back through all of my different knit projects and socks and see if I could identify them all. I'm not that worried about it. So, Granny Stripes is done. It's all done. It is so squishy and warm and cozy, and I love it. Absolutely love it. I just have to make sure that the husband doesn't try to steal it. He's been eyeing it up. He can't have it. I might make him another one using different scraps, but for now, mine. I'm not sharing it. So, that was Granny Stripe. All done. So, that sock yarn scrap blanket was way faster than my mitered square blanket. I knew it would be a lot faster. I crochet a lot more quickly than I knit. And especially that design was nice and quick and easy. I still have a fairly good sized amount of sock yarn scraps still. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with those. I am going to try to get some of them into other projects, but I just haven't decided quite yet what I'll do with them. So we shall see. Because I do still have quite a bit left over. And I'll find something for them. So my other works in progress, so I'll show you, I have 2 that are ongoing projects and 2 new ones. So let's take a look at those. So my other ongoing project I have are I want to make sure I've got the exact name. Mitten Garland Advent Calendar, and this is by Kathy Lewinsky, and it's a series of 24 miniature mittens that will all be made into a garland. I'll do them as a garland for Advent this winter coming up. And as I mentioned before, this is a project that I'm working on with a handful of friends online, and we're working on doing about 5 rows per day on these. And right now we're on mitten number 3. And I'm almost at the point where we start to decrease for the top of the mitten, and then I'll do the thumb, and mitten number 3 will be done this week Thursday. Mitten number 3 will be complete. I'm not as happy with this one as I was with the other ones. I'm finding my tension has tightened up a lot. This one's a little bit smaller than the other ones. And I might not be 100% happy with my color choices. It is what it is. The 3 is kind of, it's kind of scrunchy bunchy and it doesn't look the greatest. I'm hoping that blocking will help this little guy a little bit, but we shall see. And it's a little bit bigger here and kind of has a funny pucker to it because this part is just regular stockinette and then the rest is the color work. So we shall see. It'll get done. I haven't done any of the blocking on these yet, but once I do get a couple more done, I think what I'll do is I'll get started on blocking them so I don't have to block all 24 of them in one shot. I'll lose patience with that real quick. I'm using Knit Picks palette yarn for these, and I'm just using yarn that I already have. So I don't plan on buying new yarn for this project. This is going to be kind of a scrap project where I'm going to continue using yarn that I already have. Once I'm done with these, what I might do is see if I can come up with some other scrap projects or things I can do, because I do have a lot of this Knit Picks palette. So I am going to be starting to think about what else I can knit with these yarns. So that's that one. My next ongoing work in project is Damiaka Lopa, and that's a pattern by Pinagiri. And for that one, I am using Holst Super Soft yarn. I'm using the colorway Silver Gray and Cobalt are the two main colors I'm using for the body. There were a handful of other colors that were used in the yoke. I also used Indigo, Robin's Egg, Pineapple, and Breeze were the other colors that I used. So I have not made as much progress as I would have liked on this over the past week. I haven't worked on it much at all. I got started on a couple new projects, and Damiaka Lopa has kind of been put to the back burner a little bit. And I'm not entirely happy with having done that. I think what I might do is, once I get a couple of the other whips finished, I want to spend most of my time on this one. So that's all the progress I've made this week from the little marker up. So I've literally only done 4 or 5 rounds. That's it. I had hoped to have had a lot more done on this. The progress is coming along nicely. I'm on the flea portion now. Kind of looks a little puckery. It'll look a lot nicer once it's blocked, washed and blocked. But you can see here the different colors that I've used. I had hoped that this week I would have got to the point where you separate for the armholes and then just do the body and the sleeves will come later. I haven't got that far. So I am hoping that I will make time to spend more time on this week coming up, especially now that Granny Stripes is finished. I need to get more done on this. I'm loving the colors, I'm loving the yarn, I'm loving working on it, but I've just put it aside to work on other things. And I'm getting back to too many whips and not spending enough time on each project each week. And that was something I had recognized recently, that I do better when I'm closer to being monogamous. And I've been kind of drifting away from being monogamous, and we see what happens. We only get 5 rows done on a sweater in a week. This rate, it's going to be a long time before I'm able to wear this sweater. So I do need to make sure that I make time to work on this. So that's my Damiaka Lopa. It's, like I say, I've made some progress on it, but not near as much as I had hoped to have accomplished this past week on it. So hopefully next week I will have more to show you on that project. So then I have 2 new cast-ons. And the first one is the second sock in my masculine unisex sock series that I'm working on this year. The first pair of socks, or the first design, the knitting is complete and I have not yet written up the pattern. Again, this week was busy work-wise and I didn't didn't have as much extra time as I had hoped I would have to work on it. And by the time I got to the end of the day and I had the time to work on it, the brain power was, after working all day, the brain power had faded. And I just didn't have the gumption to work on getting a pattern written up in the evenings. So I'm hoping I'll get that done this week. I also have someone I want to send out and have them help me do some test knitting on it. And I'm hoping to get it released. Clearly it's not going to be one pattern per month. I'd hoped I would have one in January, one in February, and so on. January, clearly I didn't get that done. So now I'm just going to relax and not worry about getting them out each month. So long story short, too late. I've started the second pattern in the set, and here's where we are with that one. So it's again a knit purl rib based design, and I've got the cuff done and I've started on the leg, and I'm hoping to get more done on this in the next little bit. I think I worked on most of this Sunday and Monday, and then I put it aside and got going on some other things, and I haven't touched it in several days. So again, I'm starting to get too many whips going, and for some people lots of whips works well. It doesn't work well for me. So I am kind of starting to regret having cast on more and more. But the temptation is real. The temptation is very real. So these are my Ronald socks. These ones are named after my dad. The first pair are named after my husband. The second pair are named after my dad. So these will be the February ones, and hopefully they will be, I will have it done by the end of the month. I still have a lot of months to go. So I will continue working on these during the month. I'm hoping to get the John socks, I'm hoping to get that pattern written up this week and get it ready for getting published soon. And these ones I'm also hoping they can be done, the socks done and the pattern written up within the next few weeks. So there we go. That's my other whip that's going on this week, and one that I just cast on this past week. And my last work in progress that I just cast on what day did I cast it on? Wednesday? Yeah, I think I cast this one on Wednesday. And these are one of the warm-up patterns for Sock Madness 15. The pattern is called Pink Lemonade, and it is by, let me just double check. I can't even read it. Pink Lemonade by Amy Rapp, R-A-P-P. I'll put that down below as well. So this is one of the warm-up patterns for Sock Madness 15. So Sock Madness will start up early in March. It's open for registration in the month of February. So I've registered for the contest again. So that's going to eat into my knitting time once that gets started. So yeah. But they did put out two warm-up patterns. They're both shorty socks, and I've cast on the first pair, Pink Lemonade, and I haven't decided yet if I'm going to cast on the second pair. I'll have to finish the first pair first and then play that by ear. I won't be doing all the warm-up patterns this month. I don't have the time. So Pink Lemonade, I am using some leftover yarn. So this is Lion Brand sockies, and I had a partial skein of this. This was already, I had used part of it for something else, and I also had a partial ball of it from, again, these were in my scrap tub. So I thought, well, this is perfect. There's enough in here. There's actually enough in here to make 2 shorty pairs. So the pink lemonade and potentially the other shorty pair if I decide to do that. So I might not. I don't know if I'm going to do the other pair of socks. We shall see. Stay tuned and we shall see. So anyways, let me show you these things. I cast them on again. As I mentioned, oh, I'm tangled up. Where's the surprise? So I cast these on I think it was Wednesday, and oh shoot, hold on, I'll be right back. I only dropped 1 stitch, so it's not too bad. I'll have to do a count and make sure where I left off there. My stitch marker went AWOL as well. So again, these are shorty socks. I'm doing them 2 at a time in tandem. And here's where we are so far. You can't decipher a darn thing from this. The pattern called for only doing, let me put one down. The pattern called for only doing 6 rows on the ribbing. I think it was 6, a small number. I did extra. On the warm-up patterns, we have flexibility where we can modify the patterns just a little bit. Once we get into the real competition, we have to knit them as written. But I did lengthen the cuff just a little bit. I think I did a little more than double what was called for, because I just wanted a little bit on the ankle. So on one sock, I've got the cuff is done, and the heel flap and heel turn is complete. And then I'm ready to pick up the stitches and start moving my way down the foot on this sock. On the other sock, I have picked up the stitches, or picked up the gusset stitches. So I've done the cuff, did the heel flap, turn. I have picked up the gusset stitches, and I've got about a dozen or so rows down. The pattern has a cute little design. I'm not sure if it's showing up very well. Not too bad. It has this cute little design. It's mostly stockinette, but has this cute little design that runs down the outside or inside, depending on which foot you put into each sock. There's this cute little design that runs down one side, mirrored on each of the socks. So I've done 1 repeat of the little design that goes down the foot, and I'm ready to continue doing more repeats of the little design down here. So those are coming along quite quickly. I've only worked on them Wednesday after. I think I started them Wednesday afternoon. I got a little bit done on Thursday and Friday, and they're coming along quite well. So I am hoping that I want to motor through these and see if I can finish them this week. Yeah, I think this week I'm going to work on my Advent mitten, work on that pattern. And I think I'm going to put the sock design aside, and I want to divide my time nicely between Damiaka Lopa and the pink lemonade socks. so that I can get a goodly chunk done on both of those. I would really kind of like to finish the pink lemonade socks this week. We shall see. I'm not quite sure if I'll be able to get them done completely this week or not. Stay tuned for next week to see if I actually did get them done or not get them done. Time will tell. And I also want to make sure I spend a goodly amount of time working on Damiaka Lopa this week, because I really do want to get moving on that. I'd like to get it finished while we still have enough cool weather that I can wear it happily this winter. At this rate, I'll be finishing it in the summertime or in the spring when it's getting too warm to want to wear woolly knits. So yeah, I really do need to get a wiggle on and keep working on those. So stay tuned, we shall see. So that about sums us up for the week. This week coming up, I don't have as many major commitments at work. The week after, I suspect we're going to be having the Zoom campus visits for our finalists. So that'll eat up a bunch of time. Some of it I might be able to do some knitting while I'm watching on Zoom, because I don't have to be taking notes. When we did the initial interviews, I was taking notes of things how each of the candidates answered questions, so I would be able to have a solid evaluation of my thoughts on each of the candidates when it came time to narrowing it down to who our finalists were. So I didn't have as much time this past week to knit during that. So in 2 weeks, when we're doing the Zoom campus visits, I'll have a little bit more time, especially during the research presentation and the teaching presentation. I'll have time to do some knitting while I'm listening and paying attention to those things. I won't have to be focusing on taking notes, like studiously taking notes during the time. So I will have time to do some relatively mindless knitting on either my pink lemonade socks or on Damiaka Lopa. But otherwise, I don't think there's too much else new here. We shall see what happens with the threat of snow again, whether we get any amount of snow overnight. We'll see if church ends up being canceled in the morning or not. If it is canceled, I'll still have a little bit of time that I will spend. My husband's a pastor at the church we go to, and if last week church was canceled because of the snowstorms, we had a lot of snow last weekend, so church was canceled, but we videotaped his sermon at home, and so I did the editing and uploaded it onto his YouTube channel, or the church's YouTube channel. So if the service is canceled again tomorrow, we'll do the same. We'll videotape the sermon from home. I'll edit and get that posted up onto YouTube as well. But that'll also give me more time for knitting at home tomorrow if church is canceled. If not, then I'm tied up all morning and early afternoon with church, and then with doing the editing. It takes a little bit more time to get the actual service edited and up onto YouTube. So either which way, I might not get, if it's a snow day from church, I will get a little bit more knitting done tomorrow. If it's not, I'll get onto it in the afternoon. But here's hoping to get a lot more knitting done this upcoming week, and hopefully I'll have a lot of progress to show you on all my projects next week. I better not have another cast on. Yeah, no, I can't. I need to work on getting these ones done, and I want to get that number back down again, because I honestly am, for me, a low number of ongoing whips at a time is better for me. As I'm up to four. I'm up to four. Earlier this week I had five. It's too many. Five is too many for me. Four is actually too many for me, because I can't devote enough time to each of them each week to keep me happy. It's just what works for me. So I'm hoping to get a lot done. I'm starting to repeat things, aren't I? I'm hoping to get a lot done this week coming up. I will not be casting on anything new, and hopefully I'll have a fair bit to show you guys next week with my progress on all my whips. So thank you for taking some time to spend with me this afternoon or today. I'll get the editing done on this and get this uploaded onto YouTube probably tonight. And if you have not yet done so, I would be so happy if you would like this video, share it. If you have not yet subscribed, I would love it if you would subscribe. Ring the little notification bell, whichever side it's on. Is it on this side? I think it's on that side. But I can't be 100% sure on that. I had a 50-50 chance of guessing that wrong. So subscribe, ring the notification bell. You'll see when I have some updates. And take care, everyone. And I will see you guys again in a week. Bye now.